Destiny subscribes to Nazism 3. He would naturally ally with the black separatists, fortunately representing politically motivated killings. Destiny hosted the raid and sided with her, so the degens are out in full force right now. Ah, of course. Because Destiny subscribes to Nazism 3, he would naturally ally with the black separatists, who he identifies as an ideological contemporary. It makes sense. It all fits together. The grand ideological design, its many pieces, all fit perfect unison.
Katie calling Vaush anti-black. Did Tristan Tate follow you? I don't know.
That would change me.
Okay.
Is it an argument I haven't heard before?
Okay, so can I make a few arguments?
Go for it.
Okay. I think that you
he does follow me.
comparing...
But he follows... Oh, he only follows 330 people. I feel so special. Tristan, my man. Hello!
Black separatism to Nazism is absurd.
I like making comparisons.
Why are you doing a podcast with Farha? You barely know her. Why not somebody like ABBA or something? If ABBA lived in Miami, and he wanted to, I probably would. I think that there's a very small sliver of like perfect people for me to associate with, and that is hot, young, no, I'm just kidding. People who can not hate me, who are roughly politically aligned with me, who have very strong personalities, and who can voice disagreements in really aggressive ways. There have been like 3 or 4 people, I think, in the history of my stream that have like fit that button really well. Yeah, but we'll see how it works out, I guess. But it also might end up sucking shit stuff. Like, I think for as much as I disagree with her, I think that having Farah present for the when we watched that Britney video and the Sneeko video and shit, I think that the pushback or the other perspective that she provided was pretty good. She's very like autistic when it comes to like arguing her shit, and then we can also rile each other up without like hating each other. She barely fucking talks. She just blankly stares. Okay, I don't know if you've seen any of our streams together, but that's not even remotely true. Katie took Ryan Beard's side. Nice.
Yes. And I think that you making that comparison is both anti-black and is harmful to black liberation.
Well, I think that black separatism is harmful to black liberation, so I can...
Fuck, this one woman is coming over now. I need to gym tonight! You can come over, but you have to leave by 9, okay?
Pairing it to Nazism, I'm trying...
No shot, your gym closed at 10? My gym closed at 11. Okay.
Demonize
to
it.
indicate how... Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you at least acknowledge that that's what you're doing.
Of course.
I never denied
very
it.
little of their quote-unquote ideology.
Okay. And you...
Watch this from the start. This is the context for their convo.
You feel like you know enough about black separatism, black nationalism, and all the difference to be able to compare it to Nazism.
Well, you can compare anything to anything. The point of a comparison...
Yeah. True! Whoa! Where have I heard that one before? What was Vaush about to say here? Nah, to be fair. Did he really steal it from me? Yeah, spoiler alert, he did.
And is to draw similarities, not
the
to assert that
utility,
they're
yes.
both the same.
Yes, of course. So is the utility to comparing black separatism to Nazism purely to demonize black separatism in all of its forms?
Sure. And also, I guess, I do find it sort of funny. People often associate Nazi politics and fascist politics with white people. Of course, that's not true. There are fascist groups in Africa. You know, I think a lot of people, especially in the online left, operate in the assumption that non-white people operate some kind of, you know, monolithic block of progressive politics, which is actually a very harmful presumption. That is racist. So I think that it's important to point out the things that make people Nazis, the underlying beliefs, the tendencies, the trends, those aren't like white specific. Nazism is generally white specific because of a couple of add-ons that particularize it to white issues. But the broader trend of reactionary fascist ideology, that's all over the world.
So you're fine calling black people Blitler and stuff like that if you think they're anti-white.
Blitler? Wait, what? Hold on, new racial slur just dropped. What?
Black people Blitler and stuff like that if you think they're anti-white.
Oh, like Blitler. Blitler. I like it. Oh my god. FD signifier. Blitler.
Fascist ideology. That's all over the world.
So you're fine calling black people Blitler and stuff like that if you think they're anti-white.
Yeah. Well, they have to be. It can be anti-white or they can be anti-Semitic. They can be pro-ethnostate. These things tend to overlap.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's just about demonization.
I don't like the ideology. I will do that. Yes.
He does not like the ideology, guys.
I guess my response would be that I don't feel like you have. Well, you said you don't like the ideology, so obviously that means you don't have any respect for it.
Yeah.
But I do think that's quite interesting into saying that. Like, I guess the total dismissal and demonization of something like black separatism, like even if you disagree with it, it's still one of the ways that black people have developed as a potential tool or theory to look at black liberation, and like tossing it aside in a way that really demonizes it and compares it to like white supremacy versus black liberation is quite anti-black. And that would be like my take on it.
Yeah, I'm taking their idea and I'm crumpling it and I'm throwing it in the garbage. It's a bad idea.
Ooh.
Bad ideas don't get more credence from me because people with higher melanin content made them.
Oh,
that would be racist.
No. You can think it's a bad idea, but you also can recognize that black liberation is not the same as white supremacy.
It's not black liberation that I'm criticizing. It's black separatism. I'm in favor of black liberation. You're conflating terms in a way, by the way, that Nazis do quite often.
Oh, she's Jewish. He called her a Nazi KO.
Nazi ideology to white liberation, white protectionism, white identitarianism, and white autonomy. But in reality, what they're really talking about is the formation of an ethnostate and the execution or ostracization of large groups of people. I don't appreciate the semantic jumbling. You know, I know what black separatism means. It means ethnostates. So you can say it's liberation, but I don't think people are being liberated when they're forming their own little fucking death camp. I think that liberation means equality.
Yeah, that's why you support Kurdistan, right? Because you don't believe in independence and shit like that.
Wait, hold on. All right.
Kurdistan? Is that really what it's called?
I'll educate you.
Ooh.
The problem with Kurdistan and the comparison that you just made is that, first of all, any iteration of Kurdistan which became immediately a militant ethnostate would be one that I would oppose. If Kurdistan...
Wait, are we really out here opposing... Wait, I thought... Do we really hate Kurdistan? Is that a Vaush position? Or did I miss something? I thought Kurdish people in general were kind of based. Are Kurdish people actually like Hitler? Did I miss some shit? I could also be totally wrong there. Just based on... From everything I've heard and from everything I know kind of personally, I feel like Kurdish people are generally pretty chill. Kurdish people are fleeing Kurdistan? Not what he's saying? Wait, did I miss something? Hold on.
Oh, I know what black separatism means. It means ethnostates. So you can say it's liberation.
Am I cancel Destiny? No. What? Why aren't you adding me on Discord? Why are you typing on my YouTube chat instead of typing on my Instagram DMs?
But I don't think people are being liberated when they're forming their own little death camp. I think that liberation means equality.
Yeah, that's why you support Kurdistan, right? Because you don't believe in independence and shit like that.
Wait, hold on. All right, I'll educate you.
Oh, I thought she was being like sarcastic here. I don't understand.
The problem with Kurdistan and the comparison that you just made is that, first of all, any iteration of Kurdistan which became immediately a militant ethnostate would be one that I would oppose. If Kurdistan immediately prevented Turkish or Iranian or Iraqi people from entering, killed them, ostracized them, removed families, burned down houses, neighborhoods, villages, I would oppose that. I think that's ridiculous.
Good. You should oppose that with black separatist projects as well.
Right.
Except not all of them are like that.
Well, ethnostates are ethnostates. And second of all, I think that the material conditions for the Kurds are very different from black Americans. If there are black Americans who want to leave America and go to Africa, good luck to them. I don't think it'll make their lives any better, but good luck to them. Whereas the formation of a new state for Kurdistan actually could materially improve the lives of many people. It's a broader utilitarian concern.
Yeah, I definitely think what you just said is like super anti-black, for sure.
What did I just say that was anti-black?
I think the implication that like black people in America can go try out their luck elsewhere, sending them to Africa, or saying if they want to try their luck in Africa, go ahead, is pretty anti-black.
Jeez. I'm glad that I've come out as fully racist and I've embraced it. I love being racist. I'm so glad that I fully embraced it, and I do hate all races of people. Okay, watching Vaush fight these morons. Well, when you used that phrase of African, that actually was racist and you're racist. Like, oh, I'm so glad I don't fight these people anymore. Oh my God.
That is what black separatists often talk about. They talk about going to Africa and forming a pan-African ethnostate.
Pan-Africanism and black separatism are not the same things. Black separatism does not always mean an ethnostate. There are black nationalist projects. Although black separatism and black nationalism are not the same thing. But the thing that people have been trying to talk to you about for a long time, and God knows I'm not educated enough to do it as well as they did, is that you are speaking very confidently about theories and topics that you are not very well versed in. And you could have just said that, but instead you're just like, no, this is like Nazism.
It's a shame that nobody's yet been able to point out an issue on which I've been wrong.
Ooh.
I've just pointed out.
What did I say that was incorrect?
The big Vaush, Dick Daddy.
What did you say that was
incorrect? My
My
God.
Yes. So when you said I'm being like the Nazis by mixing semantics, I was specifically talking about how Nazism relies on the concept of white supremacy and how that's a big Aryan supremacy, and that's obviously the core component of it. And
it's
I
not
will
the core
get
component.
Okay.
You didn't listen to a word that I said. Reactionary
Can I
fascist ideology is global. It molds and shifts and changes to adopt preferential treatment towards the dominant group and malignant treatment towards the minority groups all over the world.
Okay.
But the underlying disease
when you say
is
Nazism,
universal.
So when you say Nazism, you just mean fascism and you just use them interchangeably, because they are not the same thing and you shouldn't do that.
Reactionary fascism, which Nazism is. The only distinguishing characteristics of Nazism, apart from those particular to the time and place that would change even a decade in either direction in the Weimar Republic, I mean, really meaningful stuff, is the white supremacy and the anti-Semitism.
There's a reason why you say Nazism and not reactionary fascism. It's, again, to charge the word.
Thankfully, for my comparison, black separatists also tend to be anti-Semitic, so that is a nice extra comparison that I get to draw.
That is, again, quite anti-black, but okay.
Have you listened to Luis Farrakhan speak recently?
No, I haven't.
It's
I just don't have the statistics to say that black people are the black people who have an affinity to black separatists.
Whoa! Hold on. I need to get a soundboard. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second, guys. Why don't I have like a klaxons sound? That's not at all what I was looking for, but I'm sorry. We have a honeypot bait thread leading maybe a big subreddit purge might be coming from this thread. Destiny getting furious at the random normie the reporters interviewed for insinuating American racism was kind of the funniest shit for the whole rant, not gonna lie. I don't think Destiny's persuaded, blah, blah, blah. It's really cringe. He even misrepresented the black dude in the leash scenario to that he could have more feel for the media Oh, maybe so that he could have more feel for the media demonizing white women accusations. Destiny said he threatened to kidnap her fucking dog, and then read a post where none of that was mentioned at all. Oh, here we go. Central Park this morning. This woman's dog is tearing through the plantings in the ramble. Me, ma'am, dogs in the ramble have to be on a leash at all times. The sign is right there. Her. The dog runs are closed. He needs his exercise. Me. All you have to do is take him to the other side of the drive outside the ramble, and you can let him run off leash all you want. Her. It's too dangerous. Me. Look, if you're going to do what you want, I'm going to do what I want, but you're not going to like it. Her. What's that? Me to the dog. Come here, puppy. Her. He won't come to you. Me. We'll see about that. I pull out the dog treats I carry just for such an intransigence. I didn't even get a chance to toss any treats to the pooch before Karen scrambled to grab the dog. Her. Don't you touch my dog. Nobody included this context, by the way, when this video went viral. Because once you get this context, the woman's reaction is way more reasonable, by the way. Wait, have we not talked about this on stream? Was this something I looked at off stream? Because the video for the white woman looks insane. She's just like screaming and trying to call the cops, and everybody's like, oh, white woman trying to call the cops on a black dude. But the guy posted this on his Facebook before he posted the video, but none of this ever got reported on. None of this got reported on. It was insane. Destiny disingenuously painting, calling the dog to himself as a threat to her and the animal is genuinely mind-numbing shit. He needs to take a break from this and recalibrate. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the guy say something along the lines of, and I quote, "You won't like it if I get my hands on that dog?" Well, he said, quote, "You won't like what I do next," end quote. And then he called her dog. If you want to say he threatened her dog, I disagree, but I think that's pretty understandable. What? The thing that takes it into absurdity is Destiny saying he was going to kidnap her dog, and the woman saying that he threatened her because she literally physically approached the dude on camera. Not what you or I would do if we're fearing a man is going to physically harm us. Like, the guy said that he carried a bag of treats with him and said, you're not going to like what happens if I get my hands on that dog. I guess maybe he wasn't threatening to kill her. Maybe he was threatening to kill the dog? What did she think he was going to do? You're not going to like when I get my hands on your dog. I'm going to give him so many treats he's going to become obese? Like, what is the insinuation? In what way is that not an implicit threat? I literally just said that I understand considering that a threat to her dog. No, you said you disagreed it was a threat to her dog. Yes, I said that while I don't agree, I can understand someone considering it a threat. What is it if it's not like a threat to the dog? She lost her dog for 1 week, by the way. Nice. Oh, and here come the finger waggers. I am racist. Don't forget it. Okay.
Are anti-Semitic in their majority.
If you want, we can go over prominent black separatist groups. I think the SPLC lists many of them as hate groups. Would you like to?
Ooh, SPLC.
I'd just like to address something first.
Okay.
I actually learned this from you. So when you said
when the student becomes the teacher.
How we distinguish like the right from the left when the right says we are oppressed, we are we are being like bullied at, we're being infringed upon, because you talk about conservatives versus like liberals or lefties these days. You'd say, hey, you need to look at the material conditions and see what's actually different. So just because someone is using the excuse that they are being oppressed or that they are being infringed upon doesn't mean that you necessarily have to accept that, which is something that you taught me that I've really appreciated with how to handle the tolerance like paradox. But then when we talk about black separatism and Nazism, and I talk about black liberation as the motivation for black separatism ideas versus white supremacy is the motivation for Nazism, suddenly you're saying, well, the Nazis were talking about liberation too. And then we can look
at the material conditions. Were they telling the truth?
Ooh,
they weren't
I don't know what
truth,
that means.
Which is why you accepting.
Also, I don't know if I've done this at all in any of my recent Red Pill things. I hope I haven't. But guys, maybe this might even be like a Vaushism. Don't look at her hair unless you want to live. Please stop comparing everything to World War II and the Nazis. Their history is rife with examples of different things that we can talk about. I swear to God, I promise, everything in the world is not World War II. There are other things that have happened in human history. Not everything has to be about World War II and the Nazis. Please.
Proportionately represented in politically motivated killings.
It's... Okay, please stop. That's a troll. She's got a wig on, and she's trolling. And she's neurodivergent. Okay.
Their claim as like valid when black people talk about black liberation.
Wait.
Jesus. And here I thought they were only selling NRT in America.
Wait. I'm sorry. Did you just imply that I think the Nazis were telling the truth when they said they were promoting white liberation?
Jesus.
No, I did not.
You said that I found those claims valid.
Can I explain what I meant then?
I don't think either group is being sincere when they talk about that sort of thing.
Okay, good. I'm happy you said that. I agree that you don't think either group is being sincere. However, one group has material conditions to make it so that you not thinking they're sincere is pretty anti-black, and one group had nothing and still has nothing. That's the point.
I don't think that a minority group being dispossessed means that they're not capable of adopting the same reactionary tendencies as dominant groups. They are. In fact, the idea that they can't is a lie, and it's a destructive one in the left space. The idea that because a person is a minority, they must innately be... I talked about this initially. The idea that there's some kind of innate monolithic tendency by black people or women or whatever.
What do you think of Vaush's camera background? I think his camera background is actually pretty good. This chair is disgusting. I don't know why he doesn't replace it. But it's busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. But he's also got like... I don't know how he's got his lamp set up, but like, look at how we've got like this nice blue pillar here. There's purple light on the other side. He seems to be pretty well lit. I think Vaush's background and lighting, I think, is actually okay. He could put like another. I like lots of different colored things because I'm a gamer. Putting another lamp in this closet with like a red or an orange light back here might look cool too. But
that drives them in the correct direction. And for the most part, overwhelmingly, black people aren't black separatists. A very small portion of them. True. But then you take a look at the black separatists there are, and I just don't like the cut of their jib. And it has nothing to do with black liberation. I'm fully in favor of black liberation. I just don't like their way of doing it, because I don't think they're actually trying to push for black liberation. I think they're trying to push for anti-Semitic, racial, supremacist ethnostatery.
Okay.
Damn.
I have no doubt that you feel that way. I just don't think you've engaged enough with the material to say that. But we can agree to disagree on that.
No. But you can't keep saying you're wrong because of this nebulous group of perceptions and ideologies that we're not going to address. If I'm right, I'm right. So I keep seeing these tendencies online with black separatism. What do you think black separatism means? Defend it to me. Be an advocate for it. Why am I wrong? I don't like it because of the anti-Semitism, the racism, and the ethnostates. Those are the big ones.
Anti-Semitism is not inherent to black separatism, so I'm not going to defend anti-Semitism.
But it's certainly correlative, isn't it?
Oh.
I wouldn't know. Would you mind showing me those statistics?
The Nation of Islam is the largest and most prominent black separatist group, and it is extremely anti-Semitic.
Okay. The black separatists I've talked to have definitely not been anti-Semitic, but they are also not as big as the Nation of Islam. Yes.
You did?
I ask people if they're anti-Semitic. That's what I do.
That's pretty anti-black of you, to assume that.
Yes. I'm very scared of black people and how anti-Semitic they are. It's dangerous out there.
Wow.
I'd like to address a different point, if you don't mind, since I don't think we'll...
I just want to know, what does black separatism include that I should think of more favorably?
Well, there's a difference between like black nationalism and black separatism, and I'm actually not educated enough to tell you the real difference between them or if it's substantial to an extent. All I know is that either with black nationalism or black separatism, there's like the ethnostate idea versus like black separatist projects or black nationalist project, and you don't have to go the ethnostate route. Also,
if you're not educated, how can you say I'm wrong?
Oh my God.
From what I've learned, which is very little, you're already misrepresenting it. Also, I'm uneducated in the sense that I'm not read on it very well, so I wouldn't be able to distinguish between black nationalism and black separatism. I do know quite heavily, compared to you.
Isn't this kind of
Oh,
like
she
you
laughs.
saying like, oh, dude, Nazism isn't about hate. I just talked to a couple of guys online, and like, it's actually about
my
celebrating
God.
white history. The Confederate flag doesn't mean hate. It's about Southern heritage. Like, why would you talk about knowing more about this than me? I've done videos on this. I've debated people.
I've done videos on this. Vaush bringing out the final killer clinch argument. I've done videos. I've done videos on this, you bitch.
People on this. All you have is
and people generally say that you're very misguided in your interpretations.
and they
of what is
crumble
talked about.
before me like pillars of ash.
Oh,
But
Not really.
you come here, and you can't name a single part of black separatism that I should agree with, that I'm mischaracterizing. What does it mean then? So, nix the
Can I
ethnostates.
tell you what I think?
No, I want to know what it is, not what you think it is. I want to know what black separatism is.
Oh.
Where am I wrong?
Okay, listen. As I said multiple times, you don't have to agree with black separatism as a concept of an ethnostate, right? I don't agree with it. I don't support ethnostates. However, you have not been criticized for not being a black separatist. Even Professor Flowers is not a black separatist, okay? The people who've been arguing with
She'll
you about
defend it.
this...
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh,
People who
no
have been
response
arguing
from the
with you about
Cates.
this specifically argue with your way that you have admitted that you are trying to demonize and otherize
Yes.
and make it sound as close to Nazism as possible.
Yes, I'm anti-black
Yes, that's the
separatism.
critique.
And that's, okay, that's fine. If their criticism
name is
of,
Blake
imagine
now.
if somebody criticized me, and I'm like, oh, what's a criticism? They're like, well, you demonize Nazism. Okay. Like, why? Is there a follow-up to
when
that?
people say that you are uneducated on the topic, and like I'll explain why, and I have explained why, and I guess we haven't really. So the main difference for why I personally don't think that black separatism is comparable to Nazism in the way that you do, and by Nazism, I'm not sure if you now mean like reactionary fascism or actual Nazism.
The point of comparisons is to draw out similarities, not to say that something is exactly like something else.
True.
I make comparisons
Yes,
to the
and some
Nazis often
things-
because it's the most emotionally evocative authoritarian government that Americans are aware of. If I lived in a
Yes.
different part of the world, if I lived in South Africa, I would probably make comparisons to like the apartheid colonial government. If I lived, like, I would do this anywhere. But the only reason I
Yes.
choose Nazism as opposed to any other generic authoritarian reactionary fascist ideology is because people have a larger range of pre-existing conceptions of Nazism to call upon. It's more impactful.
Inaccurate.
No,
Yes.
no, it's not inaccurate. Comparisons aren't about accuracy because comparisons can be between two unalike things. I'm not saying they're the same. I'm using
Okay.
it to draw out comparisons.
Let me fix it
You
then.
can't say a comparison is inaccurate because the things you're comparing aren't exactly the same. Like, I'm
No.
aware.
I didn't say the comparison is inaccurate. I said that the way you use the word Nazism is very inaccurate. As you admitted, sometimes you just use it interchangeably from like reactionary fascism.
No, when you're
So-
making a comparison, you can say black separatism is like Nazism, or black separatism is reactionary
Was
fascism.
apartheid in South Africa reaction? I have no idea where apartheid in South Africa came from. If I had to guess with no historical background whatsoever, my guess would be that South Africa, like a lot of other countries around the world, was probably colonized by somebody in Europe, probably the British. And when they colonized it, there was probably a legacy of colonization there that at some point had white people creating kind of like systems of governance that had white people living in higher echelons of society than black people. And some of that got codified into law. Oh, the Dutch? I don't know. That'd be my guess for where it started, but I have no fucking idea.
Fascist. But neither of those statements are untrue, because the point of a comparison is to give you the space to draw out where the differences and similarities lie. It's not an inaccuracy, it's just a choice in comparison. Now, if the points in the comparison that I made were inaccurate, like, for example, I said, well, the thing that's most similar between black separatism and Nazism is that both of them are pro-white. That would be a comparison that's inaccurate, because the point that I'm drawing between doesn't actually reflect the identity of one of the elements of the comparison. But I haven't done that. I draw comparisons between the anti-Semitism, the draw towards ethnostates, the grievance culture, the
Hello. Jesus. I'm assuming Brian is getting his microphone set up.
the racial politics, that sort of thing.
Okay, so I don't know if using the word compare, I believe you also think black separatism can be pretty analogous with Nazism. Am I misguided here?
I think that
Okay, these are like extension things or something, right? They must be, because her original hair is all still here and shit, right? Is she, why? Why would you do this? I'm so confused. I'm so confused at why. I'm so confused. I don't understand.
I make comparisons between lots of things and Nazism. Let's be fair.
We know
I
you
think
do
that
that.
comparisons are valid as long as they're valid. I could compare the behavior of a clerk that I didn't like at a store to Nazis if I
I
felt
said
like
analogous, not comparison.
analogous in the sense that the underlying fascistic reactionary tendency is present, yes. I don't think they're that dissimilar.
Okay, cool. So I think that while underlying fascistic elements
Good one,
could
Brian.
be argued as a core part of Nazism, which I guess I agree with, there are other core parts elements. And my disagreement with you is, as I said previously, is that at the core of black separatism, there's the concept of black liberation, while as one of the cores of Nazism, there
Aryan liberation, baby.
is no black liberation. There is no white liberation either, because we agreed that we don't have to pay attention to them coping. There is just white supremacy.
But they said
because those,
there was white
let me
liberation.
finish, please.
Ooh, let her finish,
Yes,
Vaush.
they said it, and we said that just because the right complains about something.
She went on a big rant about how it's okay to be transracial and it's akin to being transgender. No shot did she say that. I'm not gonna believe you without a source on that one, dude. No way.
We look at material conditions, and it doesn't mean we have to buy into everything that they whine about.
Right,
This is
that's what I
something
say
that you
about
say all the time.
That's what I say about the far-right black supremacists. Yes, of course, I agree.
Not just about the far-right black supremacists. You say that about the right in general. When the right talks about being oppressed by trans people, you say that that's not like an actual thing that we need to be concerned with because we can just look at material conditions. You say that all the time.
Okay, if white people in Weimar Germany actually were being oppressed in some capacity, do you think that would have justified Nazi ideology, or do you think it would have been just as wrong?
I don't think it would have justified it.
Okay.
I don't think it would have been just as wrong. I think it would have been somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. So, two realities that you're looking at. And we have this one. And on the other
I'm
hand,
sorry.
you look at Auschwitz.
Bro, my brain is fucked. Dude, I should take a vacation to some. What's like the most stereotypical like African, like if a black guy wants to find his roots, like what country in Africa do all these fucking celebrities and shit go to? I should go and like come back with like dreads and like African garb, whatever fucking country I go to, like the flag's colors like sewn into my shirt. Ghana, Liberia, Kenya. It'd be so fucked. All right, I'm sorry.
What's Birkenau?
Oh shit. Hey, hello.